So welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to show you a great, method that can be used to analyze customer review data. So here on the resources page, I have, important, article which shows you like let's say how to do sentiment analysis using Excel. And you can copy the link and it should take you to this article, which shows, sentiment analysis in Excel. So basically, if you have like, some programming background, let's say using R or Python, then, probably, you don't need to refer to Excel. But in case, you have some, hands-on data which you collect using like, let's say online media channels like Yelp, TripAdvisor, Facebook, Twitter, or maybe any online channels, then maybe sometimes, Excel can be, a great starting to. Okay. So that being said, you see, this article is written by a digital marketing specialist, and it really helps, any individual who has an interest in digital marketing to jumpstart, any work in text data analysis. Okay. So that being said, I'm not going to read this article for you, but basically, the article shows you that, let's say you can analyze customer feedback, you can, actually import data, and then you can also, primarily, probably think about social media data you collect from different channels, and then see if you can get some insights which you can use to improve your product and customer service. Okay. So here, I'm not going to dive into all of these areas because of time limitations, but I'm going to show you some of the very basic applications, very basic applications. Again, this tutorial covers, many of these aspects in a general aspect, general way, but I'm going to dive deeper. So, you'll see how it really works and why it's helpful. And if you manage a small business, you don't need to necessarily think about programming as your Swiss Army knife. Maybe Excel is really enough. Okay, so let's get started. So again, please try to read the article in case you want to get some background knowledge because really helpful if you understand why it works and then how it works. Okay, so let's get this data. So this is the online data which covers airline reviews. So basically, uh, pretty much let's say what customers talk about different airline companies. And so here I have one example which will cover Southwest Airline. And here you see the review context. Again, I'm not going to show you all of these reviews, but you can click, each review. It's very detailed. And also all of this data is real data. Okay. Companies collect. So, you can actually use this probably to inform practice. Okay. So we are going to just focus on two different columns. Column G, which will be customer review. It can expand and then you can see what's going on. Maybe customers are talking about delays, customer service, maybe, carry-on bags, or maybe other issues, okay? Maybe baggage checking services. So here, we are going to focus on, something which we can use to improve our service. So what do? We actually come to column T, which shows, let's say, recommended, which is the variable name, as there are two categories, yes or no. Okay, so let's take a look at this column. So there are only two, binary variables or binary categories, binary labels, which we say yes or no. But according to our common perception of practice, if customers don't want to recommend your airline company, then they're going to, they're going to say no. So let's see what we can do about this. And we are going to first process data, and then we are going to use the magic Excel formula to analyze, the comments or reviews in column G. So let's get started. First, you see we actually, let's say, um, sort according to column T, okay? Then sort according to column T. Uh, uh, so there are only two categories, expense selection. So now you see here, out of these 100 reviews, pretty much 72 out of 100 about, negative reviews, okay? So imagine if you work as a customer manager, you want to focus on improve your customer experience. So let's copy, make a copy of these 72 reviews. And then we are going to paste it to Excel spreadsheet so we can actually analyze using Excel, maybe, in a few minutes or in a few seconds. Okay. So we're going to make a copy. You see, I'm just make a copy manually. And then I'm going to paste it here on a separate spreadsheet. Okay. So here, this is how we do it. So here we have review title. Again, that's something probably not that important. But here we only focus on now, it's going to be column D and column Q. Column D will be review context. Okay. Column D will be review context. So basically, this person or this customer talk about, their bad experience. And then they made the recommendation, okay, I probably won't take a Southwest Airways airline again. Okay. But basically, if I were you, I'd probably go back and copy, copy these 72 lines again, because we want to have the exact same data, which we get from the region data, okay? Or a regional data set. We want to have exact the same verb names, okay? Let's paste it here. Oops. I'm gonna make a copy again and paste it here. Okay, here we go. So here pretty much, let's say now our job is to actually analyze text data again in column G. And as we mentioned, all of these customers would not recommend Southwest Airline to their friends. So let's say what we can do about it. So first, let's say again, we are going to come to our reference page and let's find that magic Excel formula. Okay. So this is the reference and I'm going to make a copy. And then you see here, let's say I paste it here. And then you see here, let's say basically this page shows you how to actually, let's say use quantitative formulas or functions in Excel. So again, I'm not going to read it for you. I'm just going to find the exact useful information for this work we are going to perform next. Okay. So you see here, imagine you have three columns here, in this tutorial. They tell you, okay, so you want to actually find, let's say the character or the word that is brown in column D. So you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 instances, right? So that means that this is a regional formula. But in case, we want to notify, we want to add a location of that, column. Let's say it's going to be, um, let's say D2 to D10. And then we are also going to add, that keyword to a separate column, let's say F1. So here again, this tutorial doesn't show you F1, but that's how it looks like. Okay, I'm going to show you. Let's say we can put, brown in F1 position, and then we can find, all of the occurrences or frequencies for this name, brown. Okay. But before we do that, we want to use ChatGPT to generate some keywords people usually talk about when they complain about airline companies. So I'm going to use ChatGPT to create those maybe 5 to 10 keywords. I'll create 5 keywords that people usually use when they complain about airline companies. Okay. So here, as you can see, now let's say we got 5 keywords. Okay. So I'm gonna copy each one of them. And I think, let's say delay, cancel, customer service, luggage, refund. Okay. So pretty much, let's say now we come to this page. And then I'm going to add a new column named the keyword. Okay. And let's say first one, delay. And second one, cancellation, or maybe cancel. Sometimes the verbs, sometimes we may need to consider using nouns. But let's use the verb first. I think, the third one, I have bad memory. I need to refer to it. Service. Let's just use service. Okay. The next one, let's say we are going to use luggage. And the next one, let's say we are going to use refund. Okay. Refund. So now you see here the equation, that magic equation we are going to do to perform the work. So the work we are going to do is to calculate frequencies of these keywords in column, let's say column G. Okay, column G. We can still go back to column G, say reviews, right? Column G. Okay, so we have frequency, and we are going to copy that formula, okay, because we really don't want to make sure it works, okay? Let's copy that formula, put it here. Remember now, we are going to refer to column G instead of column D, okay? So if it's column G, we are going to have column G2 to G. I think we have 72 rows, okay? 72 rows. 72, okay? And then, let's say imagine the keyword here, we want to make sure it's accurate. The keyword here is going to be U2, delay, okay? So that being said, now you see we have 34 occurrences or 34 mentions about delay in the customer reviews or in the reviews column. Okay, now we can drag this variable to the end. Okay, to the end. So now let's say imagine, so we already have 5 keywords and we tested that our method actually works, right? So let's generate 10 keywords. So we can see really maybe some of these some of these keywords may work way better. Okay, um, overbook, customer service, maybe stuff, right? Stuff, and then we have some other keywords. Okay, fees, right? Imagine we are just using one word as a representation of these complaints, okay? Seat, connection, and maybe somebody missed something. We are going to have a single keyword, okay? So now simply we are just going to drag, this key function to the end, okay? Now imagine, so, if you want to present this information to your manager, or let's say you want to create a report, this is not good, right? This is not good. It should just take you 1 additional minute to create additional analysis, a graph to make your job easier or to make your manager's job easier, okay? Let's say we are going to create a graph. So you see we have keyword frequencies. Simply, the easiest method we could think about would be, let's say, maybe a histogram, okay? Let's see if it works. So let's say we are going to create a 2D histogram, okay? So you see, I want to make sure I show you how it works, right? We select from U1 to U12 because now we have 11 keywords. And then we are going to actually go to, let's say, insert in the ribbon. And then you see here 2D column, insert column or bar chart. We want to create bar chart, the first choice. Okay, first choice. So here we go. So basically, let's say we found that, people complain about cancellations, services, luggages, refund, overbooking issues, staffing issues, fees, and also maybe seats and maybe connections and missed connections and other issues. So now again, you can go back to column G and see what those particular complaints are and see if you can address those complaints one by one. But here, imagine, so why is this important? Imagine if you manage an airline company and you want to see, what customers are talking about, your brand, your services, and what complaints need to be addressed. And imagine if there are more cancellations, maybe, you really need to improve let's say your services to make sure, in the future, let's say you actually address this issue. So customers, probably come back to your service, or maybe they will, make more reservations. So I think maybe, I think we can identify the top issues that need to be addressed. There could be operational issues. There could be customer service issues. There could be also product issues. And then, you could actually write a detailed report according to the complaints in column G. And then also, according to this generalized or simplified analysis using this keyword analysis and also, bar chart. Okay. So that's it. Again, in this video, we actually reviewed how to use ChatGPT and also, let's say Excel for a basic sentiment analysis. The purpose of doing text analysis, the purpose doing this is to identify, primary themes in a product review or, customer complaints. So we can use this to improve our product customer service. Okay. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day. And please, consider subscribing to my channel. So I think, I will try to actually launch a different video so you can learn how to actually automate your workflow using probably R or Python. Because, imagine if you have, let's say, tens of millions of data sets, using Excel may not be the best option, right? Because you see here, this manual process can be extremely tedious. But again, using AI really helps us, simplify our workflow. It's still very easy to understand. There are pros and cons of each method. And I hope you enjoy. And, I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much.